What's going on? What's going on? This is another production of the Sports Empire Network. Do not adjust your TVs. There is 6 people. Normally we got like 2 or 3, but we bringing it tonight. Well, we're down to 5. It's all good, but we bringing it tonight. So gentlemen, I'd love for everybody to go around, introduce yourself for those who may not know you. I'll start with myself. I'm Cool McCain. Let's go. All I got to say.
I mean, I guess I'll go second, and I'm Jordan, Big J. If you know me, I'm on the Big Three podcast with Kyle and Dylan. You talking up with the MLB, NBA, UFC. I got my own show, sure, JJ Sports Talk Show. So yeah, let's get it, man. Actually, speaking of the devil, Kyle Edwards, my guest, my co-host.
What's up, Kyle? Let everybody know who you are, man. We just going around introducing ourselves real quick for those who may not know us. Well, I guess not yet. Chris, on you, big dog.
He's lagging too, man.
Live TV,
I'll step in. I'll step in,
man.
My name is Michael Concesio, better known as the Con Man. I have my own show on Thursday evenings called The Sports Corner with the Con Man. I'm also on this show. I haven't been on in a couple of weeks, but I'm here with the crew tonight and looking forward to talking NBA. That's what I do.
What's going on, Gene? Gene will be joining us in a little bit as well. But in the meantime, shout him out real quick. All right, Brett, you good?
Yep. My name is Brett Gardepy. I have my own podcast, Gardy3, and I just absolutely love talking hoops. So I'm looking forward to talking hoops with y'all.
Bet. Chris, did you get your situation straightened out over there, sir?
Oh.
Yeah, I think Chris is frozen. All right, Fred.
I
see that you're on,
Chris.
sir.
It's like the only show I really do.
Oh, yeah, Chris. Chris, you might want to try hopping back in, bro. You were a little behind, you're a little laggy. All right, so now we have Mr. Freddie himself here, and Freddie can take over. Oh, Freddie frozen. Fred, you there, Freddie?
It's a bad start, y'all. Not our fault.
It's all good, man. It's all good because we're here to talk basketball.
What's going on?
Right. So why everybody that needs to get things situated, Well, everybody needs to get their stuff situated, man. We're gonna go ahead and start getting into the show. The first thing that we're gonna talk about, who is y'all surprise team so far this year?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Yeah, let's just hit it. You know what I'm saying? Hit it. Get it.
All right. If you don't mind, I'll jump right in. As a matter of fact, we talked about this on the show last night. You know, the surprise team to me, you know, the team that I think you have to give a little bit of credence to Dallas Mavericks. You know, what they gave up. And they did receive Christian Wood. I thought they're playing a lot better than what I definitely thought of. But my real surprise is Oklahoma City. I'm very surprised. You know, them gave up
2 teams, man.
I'm gonna go with one. I'm gonna go Oklahoma City. I'm gonna go Oklahoma City, man. All right, let me go with them.
2 teams over your car, man.
I'm going Oklahoma City. I'm gonna go with them. I like the way they're playing right now. I like FA is killing them. I like the way that they're playing, and to me, that probably is the biggest surprise thus far for me, anyway.
Brett, who you got?
I mean, if I had to pick a team off the top of my head, I think
say Brett or
easy
Fred?
answer.
I said Brett.
I think the easiest answer would be the Utah Jazz, but the team I wanted to go with, actually, they've been rolling recently. De'Aaron Fox is putting up great numbers. I'm going to go with the Kings.
Good pick. Yeah.
I'll say 8-7. They've been off to a much better start than I think a lot of people anticipated, and I could very well see them finally making the playoffs this year for the first time in forever.
We're going to go ahead and throw Jeans up here. He'll be on with us in a little bit. But
Chad trolling. I mean, does it ever become the trolling?
And what's up, Coach Dante? Appreciate you checking us out as well.
Oh, you do too? All right.
But yeah, Jordan, who you got, man?
I would say, me living in Jersey, I would say probably the Knicks right now. Even though they're still blowing against their conference. They've been putting up 130 here, 120 here, 110 here. They got a young core with Barrett, Quickly. They have Mitchell. He's back. Randall, and then they got Brunson. So they're looking good. Even though they're kind of lower tier in Eastern Conference right now, but they've been putting up points, man. So.
Okay. Kyle, how's it going, man? You got everything good now, bro? Working on it. It's all good. So I'll go ahead and go, and then we'll turn it over to Freddie after that, and we'll let Freddie give us a blasphemous comment, as only Freddie could do. I'm gonna go Utah Jazz. I like what they're doing. I like the fact that they have a lot of guys that are scoring, a lot of guys giving them contributions. Lauri Markkanen is turning into a star before our eyes.
Yes.
A lot of the guys that they had last year, like Mike Conley, Jordan Clarkson, guys that we thought were going to flounder without having certain people around them. They're stepping up, man. And they have a lot of picks and a lot of ways to make everything happen, man. They're just being the quality team that they need to be, and that's the best part. And Freddie, it's all you if you able to get everything taken care of over there on the audio end, sir.
Yeah, I'm here.
Take it away, sir.
Listen. What's the question again? I'm cool.
The question was your surprise team so far this season.
My surprise team is the NBA champions, the Golden State Warriors. They do not look like the team that we're accustomed to. There need to be a question. It was time for Russell Westbrook to come off the bench. Is it time for Klay to come off the bench? Because he don't look like the old Klay. Let's just be honest. Let's keep it a buck. Steph Curry is showing us why he is sensational, why he is the best shooter on God's green earth. He is putting his team on his back, but I'm afraid it is too much for his back. He needs some help. He's averaging 32 points a game. He's shooting 53% from the field, shooting 44% from the three-point range, giving you 6 rebounds, 6 assists a game, in a steal. Steph Curry is doing his Klay Thompson need to step up. They need to get consistency out of Poole, and I need to see something big because I was watching. No, or whatever you want. So that they are the champions, and I turn it around. I don't know if anybody heard that or not.
we got some pieces of it. You did sound a little bit like you sound a little bit like T-Pain, as Gene was saying over here. You did hit a little T-Pain.
All I do is win, no matter.
And Michael,
what.
What's going on, Michael? Good evening, man. Good evening.
Hey, y'all, I'm not gonna.
My boy, man. What's up, Mike?
Freddie hitting us with he hit us with the.
I was going to say one of the big issues I'm seeing from the Golden State Warriors this year is their defense is slipping, and it's because they're not. Last year they were very good at playing defense without fouling. This year they've already committed the second most fouls in the league, right behind Detroit. So to me, that's a big piece of it too. It's not only Clay. Clay's shooting's been an issue, but I feel like his shots will start falling. I think a bigger issue is they just got to start playing defense without fouling.
That definitely
And
makes
also
sense.
the fact is, their bench is not playing up to caliber. That's why they sent Wiseman down to the G League, and a couple of guys who I thought were going to have a real big year going into the second year, they're not playing very well at all either. I think they're expecting more from their bench than what they're getting too, and they have to get acclimated to playing with the starters as well. And these guys are getting a little older, and these injuries are definitely taking its toll. Clay's never going to be the Clay of old. You know what I mean? He's suffered some horrendous injuries. He's not going to be the same player as old. And now it's putting a lot of pressure on Steph to do his thing. And if they don't get their act together pretty soon, I don't know if they're going to be able to even make the conference finals at all.
Well, that was leading into one of the topics. So we'll go ahead and let everybody else give their thoughts as well. Jordan, we'll start with you, and then we'll go with our newest addition to the squad for the night, Marcus the Magic Man. What's going on, Marcus?
Marcus, my man.
Hi, my brother, where you been, man?
I hear you, bro.
Yeah, shouts out to everybody else on the show. You know how y'all feeling?
It's good to finally meet you, man, Magic Man.
Oh,
yeah.
Finally meet you, brother.
Listen, I'm not gonna miss my show for anybody. I don't run for anybody or anything like that. Me and
Dean, he's already started.
He's like, he's sitting right here telling me everything I need.
Oh Lord, this is gonna be trouble.
Oh yeah,
trouble. Hey Jordan, so talk to us, man. What do you think's the issue going on with Golden State, man?
I mean, I think Brett hit it on the nail, man. I think just like the young stars like Kuminga. I know they sent Wiseman down to the G League. Wiseman was supposed to be their top center, that they drafted. So he's getting G League kind of curse. He don't know when he's gonna be back on the team. So it might be a while for him to come back. Curry, like Freddie said, Curry is kind of putting the team on his back. He can't do that every game because but he put up 50. But he can't be putting up 50 every night. They need the other. I think Poole had 9 or 5 points that game. Green had 7. So the production needs to up. Clay, I know he's coming back from those crucial injuries, but Clay needs to be himself, and he's not right now. So we'll see, man. That's what I'm seeing, and the young core has to step up too. So when Curry goes down or goes to the bench, the other B team needs to get and step up. So I don't see that right now. So.
What you got, Marcus? What you got for us, Marcus?
What was the question, my brother?
So the question is the Golden State Warriors. What's the issue? What do they need to do? What do they need to fix?
That's a good question. Let's say get rid of Clay, get rid of Draymond, trade Steph, get Wiseman in there. Let Jordan Poole take over the team. Whatever you want to name about it, go for it. At some point, people got to realize that every team has its run, and at some point that run comes to an end. And it's not a knock against Steph. It's not a knock against Clay. Definitely not a knock against Draymond. He is who he is. But at a certain point, you just get old in basketball terms. So every dog has his day, and for Golden State, it's that day. And
Marcus, I'm going to pause you. So you said get rid of Klay Thompson?
Yes.
He said get rid of everybody.
You want to fire Steve Kerr?
Yeah, you ain't. They got the four. They got the four. They get no more. So it's okay to be like, hey, we had our time. We got 4 championships out this run. Break the whole thing up. Start young.
The issue is what's Klay Thompson and Draymond's green trade value at this point?
I do agree.
You're going to get as far with them or without them. So you take your pick.
I do agree. Draymond might have to go.
It sounds crazy because I'm telling you to trade everybody, but it's really not that crazy. At some point, you do get old, so you got to get the value word from the team.
It's crazy.
Hey, Kyle, man, jump in and talk to us, man. What's What's your thoughts on this whole Golden State situation and what they need to do?
The Kyle must be stuck because I'm telling
Yeah,
the truth.
Kyle must be stuck again.
Yeah, see.
So we got Jeremy in the chat checking us out. What's up, Jeremy? Appreciate you watching.
So yeah, that's what Golden State got to do. Just go ahead and have her go fire sale. Just get rid of everybody, and then come back younger and see what you can do from there. Hell,
So
get rid
this
of Steve
is-
Kerr if you got to.
This is what I say, right? Draymond Green is a big problem. Draymond Green has become a huge distraction, sideshow. You punch your teammates, you wilding out. Now you need to take a personal grade. Hey, Jeremy, we here, bro. We are here. That's who needs to go. Draymond Green. Don't wait until the offseason. Get rid of him before the trade deadline. He's become more of a problem than he's worth. What he brings on the court is no longer matching all the drama that he's bringing. So I got to go back to Gene here before I finish what I was going to say. He said last week, get rid of Joe, get rid of Harden. Hey, we can say
but since I said that, G, look how well Embiid's been playing. So you got to hold people accountable, and that's our problem. Y'all don't hold nobody accountable, and y'all think I'm saying get rid of him. The way he playing now is how he should have been playing. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I
Hold
think
him accountable.
my thing is with Draymond, getting back to that is, like I said, you're becoming more of a problem, and your productivity, your leadership, and all that is not matching. So I think you got to realize this dude is out here looking for a max contract. He's not a max contract player. He's nowhere near that. He has not been his whole career. And if you pay him that, you might as well get rid of everybody else and let him act the fool for another 4 or 5 years, because all you're gonna have is you're gonna be sideshow Bob pretty much with this dude. So to me, man, he's the piece that needs to leave.
Yeah.
I think maybe the Lakers may be a good fit for him, right? Because you can go out there and yell and act the fool, and they gonna do him and say, "Oh, Draymond's being Draymond," because ain't nobody gonna say nothing to him.
Well, cool. Since you brought that up, did y'all hear about the possibility of him going to Toronto for OG? Straight up.
Whoever would take Draymond Green, they need to make the deal if you're Golden State, in my opinion.
I'm just saying
anybody's
that
willing to give you anything for Draymond Green, take it and run with it.
So
If
y'all
they can
saying
get
on the
OG
table.
for him, you might as well do that right now.
In Golden State is what you're saying, right? From my from everything I just heard you say, Draymond Green is the issue. Where they got other holes and stuff to fill in Golden State.
I mean, yeah.
He's not the only issue,
Okay.
but he's the issue with the chemistry.
He's
and
just
all
a
the
wasted
other
body on the
foolishness.
court, man. He's just
If you remove that, I think you can get other guys playing a little bit harder, other guys playing a little bit better, and then gelling more as a team. My opinion. That doesn't mean it's right. Like you always say, Marcus. My opinion. But that's what I think is the thing that's like gunking up the machinery right now. Is Draymond Green.
I'm not here to disagree or agree with you, but what I will say is when Draymond is off the floor, they're bad. When Draymond's on the floor, they better. Take that how you want to take it.
Hey, in the win and loss column, they bad. So yeah.
Because see what y'all do is y'all blame the dark skinned brothers for when they lose.
No, we blame the person. No. We blame the person that acts a fool. Whether he's
isn't Clay white or is he mixed?
whether he light skinned, whether he dark
That's all
skinned,
I'm
whether
saying.
he
when
is
they win,
Indian,
the light skinned
whatever.
splash brothers they did their thing. When they
Yo,
lose,
Kyle, step in, man. Step in,
No,
yo.
Marcus.
You see what I'm saying? Blame the dark skinned brothers for the
Marcus.
attitude when they lose.
Marcus.
That's how they do it, right?
Marcus, who do I always blame for Brooklyn? The light skinned man.
Who's light
So
skinned?
don't come to me. You know I blame the softest man in the NBA. So let's not do that with me.
Yeah, I agree.
Not with me. I can't speak to nobody else, but not with me. Kyle, can you hear us? Are you good now, bro?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm on the phone,
right.
so everything's good.
Yo,
right
please, Kyle, please step in, man. Please.
Talk to
All
us,
right,
man. Talk
so-
to us. What do you think about it?
now. With Golden State, I think their biggest problem is Wiseman and Kuminga haven't been playing well. I think if those two guys are playing well, the Warriors probably would be better equipped to trade Draymond. I think with the current state, I might agree with Marcus. I don't know if they can trade Draymond right now. I mean, Wiseman's doing a G League stint for who knows how long. And if you're going to move Green, that means Wiseman's going to have to step up. And if he can't do that, then that's going to leave a big hole in that team. And Draymond, his one job is to facilitate the offense. That way he can allow Steph to play off the ball Clay can play off the ball. If you move him, who do you give those duties to? But I do
Andrew
think
Wiggins.
Draymond is a problem, though, because
Andrew Wiggins.
that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's who you get to do this to.
But I think Wiggins works as a secondary guy when Draymond's not on the court. Let's say Wiggins is off the court. Then
right. So if you put Wiggins on the floor and you let him do what Draymond does, then you're going to need someone else to step up. Like maybe you throw Clay in with the second unit some, not put him on the bench, but maybe give him minutes with the second team and allow him to kind of play that role with the second team. With Poole.
No, I definitely agree that Draymond is the first one that needs to go. I just think they might wait a little bit before they actually try to do it.
This is a good point from Jeremy here. Wiggins and Wiseman will have to fill it together. Both have their strong points. I think that's definitely an agreeable thought pattern as far as that goes. But yeah, man, for me, I just think Draymond, and it's not that he's a horrible player, but it's just that sometimes the fit ain't there no more. And when it's not, it's time to go. And we at that time. You know, whether they want to acknowledge the fact that that's the time or not, that's where it's at. You know, you had a great career in Golden State, Draymond, but it's time for you to take your tomfoolery somewhere else. You know, that's just my opinion. But we are being joined by Gene from Wire to Wire. So
what up?
Let Gene give his
Gene.
thoughts on this before we move
Brother
on.
Gene.
I just think that y'all are nuts. Y'all are crazy people.
I've been called worse and better.
No, all right. So y'all calling for Draymond Green to be gone?
I am personally calling for Draymond Green.
I know you're not the only one.
So yeah, but I am the main one.
Look, I don't know if you've watched Golden State over the past few years. Or you just watching the first 15 games of this season, but Draymond Green, if let's just say that if Steph Curry is the straw that stirs the pot, Draymond Green's the goddamn pot. The guy runs point. He plays defense. He takes out the best offensive player you have against them. He rebounds the ball. He sets screens. He's unselfish. Here's the issue, and I'm gonna tell you this issue. And cool. The only thing I can kind of think of is Draymond Green is pissed off. He didn't get the max contract. He feels passed up. Jordan Poole got paid. He feels like he didn't get paid. He sacrificed a ton for that team. Mentally, he is not 100% checked in. That's not my job. That's not Steve Kerr. That's not your job, Cool. That's Steve Kerr's job. Steve Kerr needs to be able to get the most out of Draymond Green for the team. It's not like he just forgot how to play basketball. It's not that he's just doesn't know how to play basketball. What it is you have to be able to get them to work together. You know what that team needs? A good road trip, a good long road trip, and get them playing together again the way they were playing last year. Stop acting like this team didn't just win a championship 6 months ago. Stop being silly. Oh, just get rid of them all. Get rid of Clay. Get rid of Steph. What kind of dog shit is that?
But see, here's what I like about you, Gene. You just came on this show 2 minutes ago and said a bunch of nonsense to me. That's all you said. Everything that came out your mouth was hot garbage, basically.
We're 15 games in. And you're saying you got to get rid of the whole team. They're all old.
There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you just get old and your time is over with. And I think I like to hold on to the names, but as far as the team go,
they won the championship last year.
15 games is 15 games. You know what you are at this point in the season.
The all-star break.
You won the title a year before. Don't mean you're gonna win the title the next year or that your team is even. You don't know what you're gonna be. So let's not go there and talk about it's not like Draymond. He does this. He does. The team is old, and it's okay for the team to be old. And it's okay
but Draymond's only 32.
Who made it to the finals last year? Marcus, what team made it to the finals last year versus the Golden State Warriors?
Boston did.
Okay, what was their record after 16 games last year?
There was
the Celtics didn't play well until the second half of the season.
Yeah,
correct.
Right.
They were 7-9 after 16 games last year. The Warriors are 6-9. They played nice.
Get rid of Embiid. I say I hold him accountable. Let's get that correct.
You did. You said, bro, I got the clip, dude. I'm gonna clip
I
last week's
said
show.
I hold him
You said get
accountable.
rid of Embiid, get him out of town.
I said I wouldn't mind getting him out of town if he did. I know what I said. It's one thing I know what I said. I said I won't mind if I said I won't mind getting him out if he keep playing like that. So I say he falls to the ground too much. But I said I would hold him accountable. Let's say that.
So this is what I say.
With 59, 11, 8, and 7.
This is what I'll say, Gene, in response. All right, so you hit the head on the nail. You made the decision. Golden State has already made the decision on who they're going to keep.
Yeah.
That's Poole. You don't have the money to pay Poole that, then turn around and pay Draymond. So you've already made the decision. So if you're not going to keep him,
you still got to turn around and play Clay.
Yeah,
they both do for.
If you're not going to keep him, then go ahead and get rid of him because he's not going to help the team. Because you just said what I 100% agree with. He's not there here. So if he's not there here, he's no better than Ben Simmons.
Cool. Can I ask you
Move him to another situation. Let him do what he want to do. Let him be the guy somewhere where they may appreciate and want to keep him. It's not Golden State anymore.
One quick question.
Sure.
If you're Steve Kerr, how hard would it be to sit down Draymond Green in a room and be like, hey, man, listen, I know you're pissed off you didn't get paid, but I'm going to tell you right now, you're not going to get a max contract averaging 6.9 points per game and playing like this right now. So you're playing for a contract. You're on a contract year right now. So listen, you could keep throwing a temper tantrum, but you're costing yourself money every night you go on the floor. How tough would that be for an NBA coach to do that? You think he forgot how to play basketball in 5 months?
Hey, the NBA is a business.
We got an answer for you, man. If Steve Kerr was able to do that and get through the Draymond Green, don't you think that conversation would already happen?
No, it's 15 games into the season.
This conversation should have happened when he punched Jordan Poole. If that conversation didn't happen then, this conversation is not going to happen. That's all I'm saying. That's my answer to you, sir. I'm not saying Draymond Green's washed up. I'm not saying that he can't give something to another team. I'm saying that team is no longer Golden State. That's what I'm saying.
I will disagree. I think that we're going way too fast for defending champions to be getting rid of their second best piece for the entire playoff run last year. Their second best player on the team.
I would argue Andrew Wiggins, but
you're wrong.
Hey, you think I'm wrong? It doesn't mean I'm wrong. You think I'm wrong?
You're wrong. If you watch basketball and you know ball the way I know you do, cool, and you're just going to tell me that Draymond Green isn't the second most important person on that Golden State team for that championship run last year, you're crazy.
I don't think
I think there's
just because Andrew Wiggins had 2 good series does not mean he was the most important player.
So let's do this. Let's do this, Gene. There's more than me, you, and Marcus. Everybody else that's here. We'll start with you, Kyle. Everybody else. Do y'all think that Draymond Green is the second best player on Golden State?
Well, I think Gene said second most important. I think that's different. Andrew Wiggins, yes, second most talented player on the team. But Draymond Green, for what he does as the point guard, facilitating, keeping Steph Curry and Klay Thompson off the ball, defensively, the nasty play, trend that line, the toughness he brings. Yes, he is the second most important. I can agree with you.
Second most important. All right, so second most important. I don't think he's the second most important. I don't think he's the second best. Jordan, what do you think?
Well, I mean, speaking of the first 2 games against the Celtics in the finals, I mean, Draymond was nowhere to be found. He had like 0 points. Went for what? I don't know what his shooting rate. I don't know. It was poor, but but like when Draymond goes down with if he gets fouled out, then how's he important? I don't think he did get fouled out. I don't think he got fouled out in the finals, but if it comes to that point, I mean, Wiggins has to step up, and he did in a couple games. But Draymond, I don't know. I like Draymond. It's just he complains too much. He gets technicals. He doesn't. I mean, he does bring that fire to the team that they need. But when he gets fouled out or he is not important, who's there to step up? And that's Wiggins. He gives that wing advantage, that shooting. And Draymond, I mean, he's known as a defender. So, but when he gets too heated and too emotional, it's what can you do with him?
Every good team has that emotional guy, though. Because I'm a Celtics fan. You just described Marcus Smart. Marcus Smart's the emotional leader. He's the guy who will argue with refs. He'll get technicals. People say he flops around too much. But defensively, he's their leader.
Well, yeah.
He brings the toughness that, Tatum and Brown didn't necessarily have.
But does Marcus Smart get fouled out like he does, that Draymond does? Like,
Does he punch his
Draymond gets
teammates?
fouled out more, but he gets fouled out more than Marcus Smart does.
Well, I'm not going to excuse the punching
Flagrant.
Jordan Poole thing. That was over the line. I agree with that. Smart,
No, I'm talking about like Draymond Green's overall, flagrant, kicking LeBron in the groin.
Scratching people in the eyes,
Marcus
all
Smart
that.
has done some things that have
Yeah,
toed
he
the
has,
line.
but I think Marcus Smart has learned better. He's more, he's strictly basketball. Draymond is
Marcus Smart has learned, but you bringing up what Draymond Green did in 2016.
All right, so comment. Comment. What do you think? Do you think that Draymond Green is the second most important player on Golden State?
That is a real difficult question, but I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna keep it like this. Golden State right now, they have approximately the highest total payroll. Golden State won the championship last year. Who got paid this year?
Poole.
And who else?
Wiggins, right?
Wiggins. I rest my case. It's not so much what we think, it's what they think. They must feel that Wiggins was such a crucial point for their future. That's why they gave him the extension. That's why they're not giving Draymond the extension. And the fact is, they're way over the salary cap. They're way over. They're number one in the NBA by a long shot. So now we're going to talk about the business aspect. Draymond did his thing for them, and they won their championships. But I think they're always looking for the future. And right now, I believe that Wiggins is more of their future than Draymond is right now.
Brett, what do you think, man?
No, if we're talking about the importance of Draymond Green, I think he's always, maybe outside of the KD years, he's always been the second most important player on that Warriors team. Since 2021, without Draymond, they're 19-18. With him, 40-20. Barely over 500 to 20 games over. Now, I completely understand that they think Wiggins and Poole is the future. Draymond's 32, so I understand why they would want to maybe move on and get younger. But I don't think you can take away the fact that between Steph, Clay, and Dre has always been the second most important person on that Warriors team out of that big three.
You're correct, sir.
Okay.
Me, Kyle, and Brett are starting our own show. I'm kidding.
Hey, that's cool. But I want you to listen to what Brett said. Like you said, listen to what you said. I want you to listen to what Brett said. Brett said out of the big three, Draymond Green is the second most important player. That's what Brett said. So I just want to make sure you heard exactly what Brett said.
I did.
Okay.
Those are the three that basically decide if they're going to win or not.
Wiggins isn't part of that three.
Well, I agree with comment.
Yeah, so
Wiggins.
All I'm saying is,
well, cool.
Wiggins is
Answer
part of
this.
That's I'm just pointing out the fact.
I know if Draymond Green wanted to come back at a lower number, you don't think the Warriors would run to sign him?
I don't know.
Come on,
I don't know.
So
I think the biggest
because
issue
here's
is
the
the
thing.
money.
No, because here's the thing. When you say a lower number, what's the lower number? You talking about 5,000? You talking about 5 million? You talking about 20 million? You talking about 10 million? What's the number?
Let's say they could get him 10 to 12 million a year. You don't think they would do it?
Maybe it depends because the luxury tax bill would still skyrocket.
Yeah, it's still skyrocket.
They're not afraid to pay the luxury tax. We know that.
Well, that's why they about to get rid of Draymond and they about to get rid of Clay. It sounds funny, but when you think about it, it's really not funny.
We know, Marcus.
These dudes are old and they know who they pay Poole and they pay Wiggins already. They can't afford to pay Clay and they can't afford to pay Draymond this year.
I just want to point out to Marcus that Draymond Green is a dark-skinned brother. Just so you know.
And you're running them out of town, man.
Yo, and I think y'all make way too big of a deal. I think y'all make way too big of a deal about him punching Jordan Poole. Can I tell you, I'm going to give you my 2 cents on that. I think
It's
that
away.
the social media age and the fact that it gets put out there, there's a cameraman inside the Warriors facility to tape that and that put that stuff out there makes it way bigger than what it should be. Michael Jordan was known for punching the shit out of teammates constantly. It's not these fights. And listen, when you talk to people in different locker rooms, they'll tell you these fights happen often. You go out back with your brother, you fighting with whatever, whoever.
Yeah, but it's not filmed.
Right.
Well, it got filmed.
I said this when it happened.
There was no phones.
That shouldn't have
I
been.
said this then. I said this now. Me and you, Gene, me and you get mad, and we going out behind the building, and we knucking, we getting our aggression out is one thing. But when I'm talking to you, I push you back, and then you still off on me. That's a whole different situation.
Either way you look at it, if
now we all know how you feel, Marcus.
If me and my brother both
fighting
and it goes viral, and my brother and they see me knocking my brother out, it's gonna look worse because it's viral. So
yeah, it should have been viral.
I'm not disagreeing with the viral report. I'm just saying the way that it happened to me. If they walked up, they both woofing off, they both squared up, and he punched him, and he fall. Cool. Hey, you open your mouth.
I'll tell you again.
You got up in somebody's face.
Once he put his hands on Draymond, he should have been prepared for what's going to come next. But technically, Draymond didn't touch that man, so he should have been prepared for what comes next. What's the next time?
I'm not disagreeing with that. There should have been repercussions.
Jordan Poole's also known for saying some like wild
tickets.
Shit. Draymond. Yeah.
So what's our next topic? Let's move this along. I'm tired of
going. Before we go to the next topic, can I just give some insight? This year, Draymond is scheduled to make $24,916,591. So when you're talking about how much of a pay cut would he accept, think about that. That should probably give y'all an answer. He's making close to 25 mil this year.
That's a very good point, sir. That's a very good point. We got Kyle back up in the building.
Just saying.
Good money.
All right, guys. So we'll go around. We'll start with Kyle at the bottom. Then we'll hit Gene and we'll just slide around. I'll be last. What are you guys' thoughts on the whole situation with Kevin Durant and his comments about the Nets?
You mean the comments about the players on the court and not really winning and everything like that? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I feel like that's a comment that you kind of let other people make for you. Him coming out and saying that, I don't know. It seems like you want to build up the guys you're playing with. Yes, we can all tell that the guys who he was playing with, they weren't going to win a lot of games, but he doesn't necessarily need to say that because we can see that. Obviously he misses Kyrie on the court. I'm sure he wishes Ben Simmons were out there performing like he thinks he should. So the guys that are out there actually trying to say that, they're no good. How are we supposed to win games? I don't know. I just didn't. I felt some type of way about that comment from him.
Kevin Durant, great player, unbelievable talent, awful leader, not a bus driver. I'm gonna tell you. I'll say it like this: I played sports my whole life. No teammate does that shit. I don't care if you're the best player or the worst player. You don't do that to your teammates. You do not do that to your teammates.
Yeah.
I don't really have much respect for Kevin Durant to begin with. Never been a fan. I think he does a lot of really suspect shit that he doesn't get called out for because of how good of an NBA player he is. I was out on Kevin Durant, after he left Oklahoma City to go to Golden State. I was out on Kevin Durant after the burner accounts. I was out on Kevin Durant after the comments that he made when he was screaming at Draymond Green on the court to give him the damn ball. I've been out on Kevin Durant for years. I'm not a big fan. I recognize talent, but if you want to call it like it is, that's not being a leader. And as Charles Barkley would say it, that's not being the bus driver. Unbelievable talent, awful leader.
Marcus?
I agree.
Britt?
I think Gene and Kyle really nailed it. So I don't think there's too much to say. I thought some of the rest of his comments were interesting. Like, he did mention why he wanted to request a trade. But yeah, if we're talking about the whole comment about him calling out his teammates, it absolutely was not necessary. Just let everybody else make that comment for you, like Kyle said, but that's not something you should be telling the media.
Man, what do you think, man?
Oh, I'm ready for this one. I disagree with everything you guys have just said. I'm gonna tell you why.
Oh, man.
At first, I agreed, but obviously it looks bad. The individual that wrote that article happens to have a good rapport with KD. He came on the show this morning, and he gave me a different perspective. Check it out what he said. He didn't necessarily call out on his team. He was more talking about how more so on administration, not his team. He then stated that he loves playing with his team and how he's learning so much more. And the fact is, each team that he goes against, they're throwing different defenses at him, and he's learning more about the game. And for this individual to get that information out of KD, do you think he's going to put KD out on blast like that? That's why he came on this morning show and set the record straight. He says, all you all read was that part. I came on to let you know what the real deal is. You said KD was not upset. He had already planned to have an interview with him prior to that game when they got blown out. So I didn't know all this until today. So before I heard all this, I agree with everything you said. But after hearing the guy who wrote the article came on and spoke and said, you guys only got a glimpse of it. And so I have a difference of opinion.
Damn.
That's my thing.
How am I supposed to follow up after that?
Yeah, Kyle got to start going last, man.
right. I'm like, damn, I'm not gonna. I was gonna say, okay, yeah, like Gene was right, Kyle was right, how like leader, but come from another side, that could be right. So I don't know how I can follow up with that. Yeah, I mean, when I thought, like, my first thoughts were like, yeah, like if you're a leader on it, like KD, or if you want to be a leader, like a leader, you should not talk down to your teammates, but uplift them. You know what I'm saying? So, but since Con Man said that wasn't the case, I mean, okay, now KD's safe for one time. So, cool. Take it away, man.
So this is very KD of KD, right? You come out, you say some disparaging things. They may or may not have been taken out of context. We'll roll with, let's just say they were taken out of context. KD's still a horrible leader. KD's one of the worst GMs in the league, along with LeBron James. And it's still his fault that this team was put together. And if you're frustrated, which you should be with the team that you put together, it's okay to say it, right? But there's a certain way that certain things should be said. And I feel like, based on the comments, you could have said what you said better. So if what comment is saying is true, and I'm not disputing what comment is saying, I'm just saying if that's true, you're still a bad leader. You're still a great player. And your teammates are going to be looking at you out their side eye for the rest of the season. Because if I was your teammate, I would.
I wish that y'all can just tell me that the administration, he was calling out the administration. Because if that's what he was doing, I guess he's calling himself out because he's the damn administration. He was the one that pushed for Steve Nash to be the coach. He was the one that pushed to sign Kyrie with him. He was the one that pushed for the James Harden trade. He's the reason. He's the reason that DeAndre Jordan was there last year. Like, don't stop. Let's stop acting like he's not the person that's fixing the ingredients. We give LeBron this hate for doing the same damn thing in LA.
KD deserves the same level of hate.
KD deserves the same level of hate. And at the end of the day, I will say this. LeBron and KD, if you put them against the wall, and I ain't no LeBron fan. Y'all know this. But if you put LeBron and KD on the same wall, man, I'd much rather play for LeBron James. At least his bullshit is right to your face. KD will not into his damn burner account. Elon already banned him from Twitter. I'm kidding, but I can't.
And I think Gene, you missed the point. I think, and also KD wanted Nash out the door, and with the GM, so he got his wish. Now they got a new coach
again.
Now, so yeah, that's just the fact that KD. Okay, minus the Kyrie situation. If Kyrie's out, KD, that's his team. I mean, he's the leader of that team, but I don't think he has the balls to be a leader on that team.
Everything that's happened with Brooklyn these past couple of years screams of lack of leadership.
Yeah.
So if he wanted to be a leader, he could have fixed this problem well in advance. But it just continues to go on and on.
Well, obviously he can't sign the contract of the players, but obviously he can have a say of who he wants. You know, just like LeBron does. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I agree with Gene too. Like he makes a good point about that.
So fellas, we're gonna flip this around and go the other way with it. Start with you, Jordan.
Okay.
Kyrie's possible return here soon. How do you think that's going to impact this Nets team?
Well, since I have access to the Yes Network, I watch a lot of the Brooklyn Nets games here in Jersey, so I do see that they need a lot of help. And Kyrie may smooth out some of the issues on the court. I don't see. I mean, like when I saw Lakers play the Nets, I mean they had no interior defense. Claxton was getting clapped in the paint by AD. I mean, like, so Kyrie does give that boost of athleticism, that ball handling. And yeah, I mean we'll see how it incorporates. And plus with Ben Simmons, I mean I don't know, he might just be Ben Simmons, mate. So, but I do think that Kyrie does give that boost on the offensive side and scoring. So Kaden had it all on his shoulders. So yeah, we'll see. I think he comes back Sunday against the Grizzlies, so we'll see about that game.
Man.
All right. Can I just reiterate what I said before? I know I got to make my point. Chris Haynes, who conducted the interview for Bleacher Report, clarified that Durant's statement is being misrepresented online. Misrepresented. After all, the interview was already arranged before they lost to the Kings. Not to mention that KD was simply emphasizing that they are being unfairly judged with massive expectations on the players. Furthermore, what people overlook about Durant's statement, seemingly criticizing his teammates, was the fact that he was complimentary of them as well, and admitted that he's really having a good time playing alongside them. I said it before I even read this. But getting back, what was your question about Kyrie? What was the question?
The question was, how do you think Kyrie's return will affect the Brooklyn Nets?
Well, obviously, he did satisfy the expectations of the owner, which I think was a little bit too harsh. I think the suspension was a little bit too much. So obviously, he's going to have, he's got to come back and basically, he's got to basically kiss ass. He's got to talk to the team. He's got to meet with the team. He's got to meet with the owners. He's got to meet with management. He's got to meet with everybody. He got to meet with KD. He got to make sure everything's straight with the man himself. And I think he's got to have, a team-only meeting. And, hey, let's lay it out. And, set the standards and what they expect. And hopefully that this will be the last time he acts like a fool. Hopefully he gets his act together. I think, maybe the message has been sent. And I think that if he adjusts and gets into line, I think he's going to end up, with that much. I mean, he's still averaging 27 points a game. You just can't get anybody off the street to average 27 points a game. So if he gets his act together, they come to a kumbaya, I think they're going to be all right.
Brett, what are your thoughts, man?
I'm actually excited to see Kyrie come back. I'm excited to see how Jacques Vaughn uses him, because it can't be any worse than what Steve Nash was doing. How do you have a 27 point per game score and a 32 point per game score, whatever KD's averaging, and be 16th in the league in offense? Like, I don't know how you pull that off, but I think it'll be overall positive, at least on the basketball court. I do think he's such a great player. I'm not sure if this Brooklyn Nets team, as constructed, is like a championship level team, but I do think Kyrie will definitely give a major shot in the arm to that offense.
Okay. Marcus, what are your thoughts, man?
I have none. Next question.
Gene, any thoughts?
Yes. I think Kyrie is such a talented basketball player that it's going to look good for a couple weeks, a month, 2 months. But to think Kyrie is getting his act together ever is not happening. It's like Antonio Brown. We want him to be on the field and successful and not be an asshole, but he's an asshole. Kyrie Irving is exactly that. He's a problem. He's going to always be a problem. I don't think he loves to play basketball anymore. I just think he's super talented, loves what basketball brings to his life. But at the end of the day, if you don't think he's going to be a problem come February, March, you're just not following the trends of Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving has went to every situation since forcing his way out of a championship team in Cleveland and just made them worse. So if you want to be honest about it, Kyrie Irving's the problem.
Now you're that.
All right, Kyle.
I completely agree. This is the same dude who didn't want to play with LeBron in Cleveland. He wanted to be his own leader, went to Boston. Then when the team played well without him, he didn't want to be there anymore. Talked to KD at All-Star break. People said, hey, why are you talking to him? Oh, we just kicking it. You run over there the first chance you get. You're in Brooklyn. First season there, you basically quit. Second season, you didn't get vaccinated. That was cool. That was your decision. The problem is Kyrie's just not available enough. He can score 35 a game. But we saw in the playoffs last season when he went at the Celtics fans when they were winning and then they lost, he completely quit on that series and left it all to KD. And Kyrie was just kind of there just to be there and didn't contribute. So their problems run much deeper than Kyrie. The whole construction of the team is off. The front office needs to get some type of control. I don't know what's going on over there. And to pin it all on Steve Nash, like he was the problem with the team, that was a hard job for anybody to get with their first coaching job. Nobody would have succeeded there. And Jacques Vaughn, I hope he does well because I would like to see him, do well and get the job and be the permanent coach. But I just don't know. I think the Nets will look good for a little bit, but the expectations in Brooklyn are championship. They're not a championship team.
Yeah, I'm not going to waste anybody's time by going over a whole bunch of things. I basically agree with Gene and Kyle, like pretty much. Like I'm at the Marcus part here, like whatever. So there's another thing we want to discuss. I'm not 100% sure since Chris came up with the topic and he's not here to clarify, but he wanted to know personal top 5. So I assume he's referring to our personal top 5 current players. I'm not even gonna do this. I'm just gonna start with Marcus. Marcus, since you didn't do the last one, who is your current top 5?
Ooh. Woo.
We need to laugh.
Top 5.
Current top 5.
Current top 5.
Current top 5. All right, Joel Embiid, James Harden, Tyrese Maxey, Patrick Beverly, and let's go with Kawhi Leonard.
Man,
yo, I'll tell you right now, he is great podcast. He is great radio.
Yes, he is.
I'll tell you, he's great.
You know, my top 3 Sixers, top 3 is gonna be Sixers.
All right.
Everybody else.
So first thing I want to say is
I don't know.
Jeremy
Man.
made a comment earlier. Just let us know update on the Buffalo situation. 54 inches of snow is falling. Not supposed to stop until Sunday morning at approximately 11 a.m. So, Brett, can you please help us?
Man, Marcus, I think the only one you're missing in that top 5 is Ben Simmons, but no,
Tobias Harris.
He don't even crack my top 38 or my top 2.
I think my top 5 in no particular order so far is
Oh man.
Yeah, Giannis, Joel Embiid, Luka. Let's see, 4 and 5 is tough because there's a lot of players playing super well right now. I really want to give a spot here. I'm going to go. I love how SGA's playing right now.
Okay.
But I'm not ready to anoint him in the top 5 quite yet. This is tough. I'm gonna pick. I don't know. I got my top 3. I'm not sure about the last 4 and 5 spots yet.
All right, Gene, go ahead, sir.
Yo,
we'll come back to you, Brett.
I'm gonna take about the best 5. Like if we were talking about the top 5 in the NBA right now, not like the top 5 this
right,
season.
Just not top 5.
Top 5 player. Giannis Antetokounmpo is the most dominant player in the NBA. Sorry, Giannis is 1. Second is Luka. Luka's unbelievable. Followed by Joel Embiid, Kevin Durant, and my number 5 spot might sound a little wild to y'all, and I'm all right with that. But give me Ja Memphis. Give me Ja Morant. Yo, watch what that man's doing every year, getting better and better. He won MIP and was 4th in the MVP voting last year. You realize how stupid that is?
Like that.
Give me Ja Memphis.
I actually like that 5. You know, Luka's a hoe. I like that 5.
I definitely can agree with that 4 and 5. I was trying to think of this year, so it was getting a little rough.
Love me some Ja. Steph Curry's the one I left out. Steph Curry, it would be 6th.
There is one guy I would put somewhere in that mix, but I'm not even gonna. I'm just gonna let y'all have this one. Con Man, who we got? Top 5.
Giannis, Embiid, Durant, Curry, and Ja.
No Luka.
He's old.
You said 5.
Yeah.
5.
I left Steph off mine, so I get it. I
Of course,
understand.
Luka belongs in there, but who am I going to take out?
Yeah, I get you.
All
right.
Who am I going? You only gave me 5.
Kyle, who you got?
I'm gonna go Giannis. I'd probably go Luka, Embiid. For this season, I'd probably go Tatum, Durant.
Not bad.
I love the Tatum.
Whatever, you can't go wrong.
Yeah, what about the Joker, Kyle?
Kyle.
Jordan.
Mad respect for the Tatum poll.
Jordan, who you got?
Okay, so I got obviously the top 2, the Embiid and Giannis. I gotta put Ja at number 3 because that man has been, he switched with the right, went with the left, that dunk. So I gotta go number 3 with Ja. Then number 4, I gotta go Curry, and then 5, I gotta go Joker, man. I will put AD, but he's not.
Bro,
No.
Mark.
AD.
Because here's the thing, man. It's about. I would say I'm not gonna give a top 5, but I'd say it's about 7 or 8 guys, and you really got to pick from that 7 or 8.
Yeah.
It's just who you want to like comments, so who you want to pull in and who you want to pull out. You know what I'm saying? It's about 7 or 8 guys, and you got to really pick from them. The Tatum pick, I do like. Tatum's really came up, so I can respect that. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah, my list was kind of on the fly. I did the all-time 5, so I didn't know if we were gonna do all-time 5 or
I could do
mine
that.
was like on the fly. So
all-time
I've done that
5
a million times.
Listen, all-time 5, the all-time 5. That's a perpetual conversation.
I mean, we already know who's on somebody else's list that we don't agree on. So
Yeah.
Yo, just for shits and giggles, because I know it, because I do it all the time. My top 5 of all time is Jordan 1, LeBron 2, Wilt Chamberlain 3, Kareem 4, and Kobe 5. That's my 5 in order.
I have Kobe and Jordan at number 1 because they both play the same style. So I got to kind of have them tied at 1.
We got it.
And then I have Jordan. And then I have LeBron 2. Then I have Magic 3. And then I got Kareem 4. Then I kind of have like Dirk in the 4 because he kind of revolutionized the Dirk. And I had Dirk at number 4 with like
who?
With Dirk. Dirk who? And then I have Curry number 5 because he revolutionized the 3 points.
Jordan got about 7 people in 5 spots. Jordan got his top 7 all time.
We got to put Kobe and Jordan in the same number 1.
But do you?
They play the same way.
Yeah. But do they?
No.
But do you? Because one's the original and one's the copy.
I mean, yeah, but Kobe modeled his game after Jordan. I mean, right. And they both, and he has 5 rings. Jordan had 6 rings.
That's not even. But that's my thoughts. I mean, I can't tell you your top 5 is wrong. I mean, your top 7 is wrong. I'm just saying.
I can.
I can tell you my opinion on your top 7, but I can't tell you your top 7 is wrong.
I was gonna say I thought it was top 5 of all time too. I had
Oh, everybody get a top 5 all time. Let's go.
I would say
Oh, man.
mine was MJ, LeBron, Kareem. Now the 4 and 5 was the toughest for me. I went with Magic.
Oh, yeah, I had
Magic and Bird. That rivalry, helped save basketball in the 80s and keep it going.
You can't
And
go wrong with
5 and
Magic
6
Bird
was
in
tough
top
for me
5.
because I was debating because it was tough for me to pick between Wilt and Bill Russell. Bill Russell being one of the greatest defensive anchors of all time. He has 5 of the 25 best seasons, defensively speaking.
Bro, please pick Bill Russell over Will Chamberlain. I will abuse that.
All right, fine. I'll put Bill Russell over Will Chamberlain.
You want to look up their stats when they play each other? How many seasons do you think Bill Russell averaged 20 points a game? He's a career 18-point per game guy. You know what Will Chamberlain averaged against Bill Russell in his prime? I'm not talking about the last 3 years, but in his prime, when they played Sixers Celtics. Do you know what Will Chamberlain averaged against Bill Russell? 49.8 points per game. He's a great defender. Man, I want to hear that. Yo, listen, Bill Russell was one of the best teams. And listen, I'm not trying to be disrespectful to Bill Russell, but he is the most overrated player in NBA history. He doesn't belong on your top 10 list, let alone your top 5. He is an average 18 and 22 player in the 60s when you can get 20 rebounds a game because the guy you were going against was 6'5". I don't want to hear it. Bill Russell is not – he's great. He's an ambassador for the game and for what he did outside the game. But as an overall basketball player, Will Chamberlain abused that, man.
See, but here's the thing, though. You got to remember, a good example of Bill Russell's defense was that season when Wilt Chamberlain was going off for 50. Against everybody else, he averaged 51 points per game. Against Bill Russell, he averaged 37. He chopped 14 points per game off of his scoring total. See, that's the thing. Like, he had great stats against Russell, but Russell chopped off that efficiency. He knocked down that points per game total. Like, all-time great defender, he's an all-time great anchor. I don't really think that there's a wrong answer. If you want to go Wilt over Russell, I don't really mind that either. I just think that Bill Russell's defensive impact gets overlooked because Wilt put up those numbers, but I don't think people look at how Bill Russell actually impacted those numbers.
I mean, I just think that you watched 2 different basketball teams. The Boston Celtics were just a lot better of a basketball team. Well, so in comparison, right? Like, let's think of the 2016 or 2017 NBA Finals, the first year KD went to Golden State. Who was the best player in that series? Was it LeBron or was it KD? And like, when you look at that series, like, I'm telling you, it was LeBron. Anybody that watched that shit at home knew LeBron was the best player in the series. But KD got the accolades because they won, because he had Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and LeBron James had a hurt team around. It just is what it is.
Absolutely. And the other thing, too, with Wilt Chamberlain scoring is the fact that there was a lot more possessions back in the day. From what I read, there's about 130 possessions back in the day compared to about 100 now. So he had a lot more chances. And if we take into context Wilt's 50-point-per-game season, he scored about 40% of his team's points that year. Kobe, in his highest scoring season, scored about 42% of his team points. MJ, 43. So I do think if we look deeper into those numbers, if we take, how many possessions and a lot of other things, those numbers are a little inflated. But I don't really think at the end of the day there is a terribly wrong answer here.
All right, Kyle, what you got, man?
I knew you was going to ask me this one. Getting back to, I'll be quick because you know me, I don't know how to shut up now. But I'll be quick. At the age, I'm going to give you guys a little something right now. I claim to be a historian. Let me tell you how it began. I'll be real quick. Age of 12. What were y'all doing at the age of 12? You know what I was doing? I was going to the New Bedford Public Library, looking up microfilm, exactly what you guys are talking about. I compared Russell to Chamberlain. Every single game that I'm from Boston area. I didn't complain because everyone said Russell was better than Chamberlain. I said Chamberlain was better. Chamberlain was my first idol. Russell won all the championships. I got to meet Russell, Casey, and Sam. Man, when I was at 12 years old, who does that? I went to the library and looked up microfilm. Do you know that Will Chamberlain got the record for most rebounds? Guess who he did it against? Bill Russell. So I'm the wrong guy to talk to. But anyway, getting back to my top 5 is too high. I go back too many years. I go back over 50 years, guys. To break it down to 5, it'd be almost impossible. It would be disrespectful to the players back in the day. You know, so I can't give you an honest answer.
Respect, OG.
Kyle, what you got, man?
I'd probably go Jordan, LeBron, Kareem. 4 and 5 are tough for me. I feel like I give a shout to Oscar Robertson, triple double machine.
It's a good one.
Then I'd probably go Magic 5, and that's tough as a Celtics fan.
Hot take. Bird was better than Magic. In his prime. Let me just be clear. Magic's prime was longer, but in his prime, Bird was better than Magic. Hot take.
Yeah, Bird probably would have been 6.
All I know.
I think it's close.
All I know is Bird's mama like Magic better. That's all I know.
Honestly, though, I can agree with that. I went with Magic over Bird because his prime was longer, but in that like between 84 and 86, Bird was a great scorer, facilitator. He was on 3. He made the all-defense team every year, all-defense second team. So there was literally nothing that man couldn't do on the court.
Bird's peak was better.
All jokes aside, though, Bird was a killer as a scorer.
Right.
Bird, before the back stuff and all that, right, when he was able to really play and be himself, because he stretched out his career a good 5-6 years with a bad back. But when he was in that era, young in his career, before the back injuries, Bird was a killer offensively. Like, he was a guy. He still played defense, like you said. He made all defensive second teams. He did it on both ends of the court, but he was a killer offensively. And a lot of people don't respect it unless you go back and watch it. I think I have to agree with you, Gene. I have to agree with you. I don't really want to, but I have to.
That's all right. I breathe this shit, bro. And I love Man's breakdown of the fact that, because, man, I remember, I'll tell you right now, and my earliest memory of basketball, y'all can look this up, it's so early, but the 76ers had Dana Barros. And I don't know how many of y'all know who Dana Barros is, but Dana Barros had 9 3-pointers in a game. He was our best player. We were awful, right? I used to watch him when we were 6, when I was 6 years old, 7 years old. We were so bad that Dana Barros was our best player, and he signed with the Celtics to be their 6th man after being our leading scorer. It was so funny.
That was the time when Alex English was our best player in Denver.
The Spoon. We had Dana Barros, Hershey Hawkins, Jeff Hornacek, the Spoon. Oh, bro, I was 6, 7 years old watching basketball with my pop. I love this. I bleed this shit.
Who's this speaking right now? Who's this?
Gene Walzak, Wire to Wire.
Gene, you know what? Me and Dana are real close. I can get him on the show. He's right down the street.
That's awesome, bro.
He's from Durant High School.
I was a fan.
He went to BC. We played at Boston College with a guy by the name of Jamie Benn. I know him I know everybody. I'm old as dirt. So I know everybody. So
Con man, I'm about to get Con be like, yo, Con man, I need to get like a couple people for me to interview some OGs.
Right?
You know
I'm the guy.
With comment, like you say, you know Dr. J, right?
I played against Dr. J.
Man, get him on the show.
1976, New Bedford High School. Wrote an article about it. You guys can look it up right now.
Please get him on the show, man. I want to interview him, man.
Yeah.
I know that might be hard to do. But.
He did tell you he's from Boston, right?
Who?
No, Mike, you're from Boston, right?
I'm from New Bedford, 20 minutes outside of Boston.
Yeah, he's from that area. I don't think Dr. J really associates with many people up there.
No. But yeah, I had the pleasure of playing against him in 1976 as a 16-year-old. And I also played against Nate Archibald.
Jeremy B. Yeah.
Oh, here too. But,
was that right before he joined the ABA?
Right, 1976. Right before the merger became what had happened. I don't know this. That's another long time. But yeah, it was 1976. New Bedford High School, about 5,000 people. All you guys could go look it up. A Day with Dr. J by Michael Consaccio. Look it up. It's right on there right now.
So, Con man.
Yes.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just let everybody plug themselves real quick, and then we're gonna end the show with a story from the con man. Does that work for you, sir?
Which one do you guys want to hear? I got so many. Which one you want to hear? Hey, I'm not trying. It's. I've been blessed, man.
What
I want to do one too.
Until you want to do the own show.
I know. What I want to do too. One of my best friends in the world is an NBA referee. So you know how the players always come and whine and cry about calls and stuff. I'm gonna have him come on and give because he was an NBA referee until he crossed the line when they had that lockout. Otherwise, he'd probably still be refereeing right now. But yes, he refereed Dr. Michael Jordan's game. By the way, his name is Eric Brittle. You guys can look him up. But what story you want to hear? I got Dr. J, Nate Archibald, JoJo White, LeBron, Larry Bird. I can talk Red Auerbach. Which one you guys want to hear?
I want to hear. For me personally, I'd like to hear a Larry Bird story.
You guys won't be happy. You guys will not be happy if I tell you the Larry Bird story. You guys want to hear that one? You want to hear that one?
Sure, yeah.
All right. You know, the Celtics got Bird before his senior year. You guys know about that, right?
Yeah.
You know about the Red Rule? Okay. So anyway, I was at Framingham State. I played ball at Framingham State. I was going in I think it was my freshman, sophomore year. Back then, the Celtics used to play at Hellenic College. And this was right after they lost to Michigan State. One of my good friends from Framingham had asked me if I wanted to go check out the Celtics. And we walked in the front door. I remember distinctly seeing Larry Bird at the end of the court. He had that bad finger. And he had that, matter of fact, Gerald Henderson was there. And also, who's the guy that just used to coach the Denver Nuggets? George Kyle. He was there trying out for the team. I'm going way back. But anyway, I remember Larry Bird shooting that shot. Anyway, the next year, I got an invitation to play at the Celtics camp in Marshfield, Mass. And a guy by the name of Al McLean, a whole bunch of us played. Now, I was Division III. So I was going against all Division I guys, 7 foot, 6'10", 6'11". They all Division I. Me and a guy by the name of Boo Rice were the only Division III players. But I just one quick story. Not that I was all that, but I remember going to the right, hit a jump shot off the board, won the game. I'm walking past half court and I see Red Auerbach. True story. I go up to Red Auerbach. In fact, he called me up. He goes, "You look pretty good, young fella." Then he turns to me, he goes, "But know something? That's who you need to look like." Because I was stocky. He said, "That's who you need to look at." I turned my head. It was a guy by the name of Al McLean. He played at the University of New Hampshire then. And at the end of the week, what happened was they took the top 8 players to play against the Celtics rookies. The rookie that year was a guy by the name of David Thirdkill. I can't make this up. David Thirdkill. Anyway, getting back, what happened was we were all counselors at the camp. And Kevin McHale gave his little clinic, which I'll never forget. All he kept doing was talking, shooting like maybe 10 feet away. And as he was shooting, he kept talking. He never missed. Bang, 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 bang. So now we were outdoors, outdoor log cabins. So we all out there. Now this is going back. And we all had our kids. We all were counselors. And I remember going with my crew, my kids, and we ate breakfast at the log cabin. And I turned my head, and in the back row, I see Larry Bird. And this is where, now you talk about how he uses his left hand. Do you know that Larry Bird writes with his left hand? Larry Bird is left-handed. You guys didn't know that. I'm seeing him eating cereal with his left hand, the whole 9 yards. So now we have the kids, have their drill stations and all that. So the kids see Larry Bird. Larry Bird comes over, and these kids go run to him to go get autographs. He would not sign one damn autograph. That turned me off so bad. McHale was cool. As a matter of fact, we had a pizza and beer party at the end of the week. Bird didn't even show up. And so my feelings about Bird, turned me off when the kids their parents paid all that money, and he's there, and he wouldn't even, he treated the kids like he didn't even want nothing to do with the kids. And to me, that was one of the biggest turnoffs about Larry Bird. So that's my Larry Bird story.
It's funny because Mike Schmidt did the same thing in the Boys and Girls Club in Philadelphia.
Terrible, man.
Mike Schmidt did the same thing.
Terrible.
I know it's not this basketball show, but he was the Philadelphia Phillies used to have a basketball team, and they used to play for charity tournaments. And there was who the whole charity tournament's for at the Boys and Girls Club. Kid wanted an autograph from Mike Schmidt. He said it's $80, kid. Tell your family, $80. I'll give an autograph. I don't do autographs for free.
Yeah. You know, some guys, one thing I want to say before we go any further, what I like to do, I mean, playing against Dr. J was phenomenal. Best experience ever. You guys can look that up. Playing against Nate Archibald, phenomenal. But, you know, I keep talking about me being a historian, but you know something? I'm really not. And what I mean by that is anybody can read a book. Anybody can look at a tape. But when you sit there and talk to someone who experienced it when it was happening, that's when you know about the true history. And what I mean by that is I had the opportunity to interview Sam Jones, 10-time NBA champion with the Celtics, and he died 3 months after the interview. And my birthday was on June 10th. That was the day of the interview. He called me back the next day, which is on my birthday. Something I'll never forget. But anyway, I want to talk about what the Celtics, the black players from the Celtics had to go through. This is something the world needs to know. This is matter of fact, that's why I'm writing an article for the network about Bill Russell. I'm going to write an article because I know a lot of stuff that had happened, and I got a lot of it from Sam Jones. If you guys hear this story, I guarantee that will bring tears to your eyes, what they had to go through. I'll just give you one. Bill Russell wins a championship. Celtics comes home. They got his house on fire. They defecated all over his damn house. They put a cross on his front lawn. I can go on and on and on. When the Celtics played anywhere, the black players couldn't eat with the white players. They had to drink. Don't let me go. So yeah, I get too done. I go nuts. So anyway, that's what I want to talk about. And I want to talk about one more thing. Do you know the reason why? Check this out. Bill Russell got his statue after Larry Bird. Think about it. Just think about it. Why do you think Bill Russell stood away for 20 years? There's a reason. I'm gonna tell you who was one of the major. I might get sensitive. You want to know who the major person was that started the stuff about with the Celtics? Bob Cousy. And then years later, Bob Cousy was interviewed, cried like a baby because he felt so bad what he did to Bill Russell. The guy that was the man was Red Auerbach, named Bill Russell, 1967, head coach of the Celtics during that era, during the race riots, during that stuff in Boston. That's when they called James Brown to perform at the Boston Garden to squelch all the rioting and all the tension, the racial tension. Anyway, we got a show to go on. So
Boston's still a racist fucking area. You want to call it like it is.
But I'm just saying I'd like people to know what I learned because I thought I knew it all. I didn't know nothing. When you hear a man talking about what he had to actually go through, like I said, you can read a book, you can read stats. That don't mean a damn thing. When you look into a man's eyes and you see what he's done, and then unfortunately he passed away 3 months later, and then at the age of 88, and Bill Russell recently passed away at the age of 88. And that's how I was able to get this guy I'm talking about who hooked me up with Sam Jones. He's the one that's hooking me up with Earl the Pearl Monroe. He's the one that's hooking me up with this guy who's the head of the NBA retirement. I forgot his name. I can find out. And I got a connection now, and I want to help build the show by getting all these people on because I have the contacts. I'd be a fool if I didn't want to help out the network. Freddie and Keith been good to me, so that's my way of just saying thank you. And I got the connection, so why not take advantage of it?
Appreciate
awesome.
it, man.
Yep, absolutely. Hey, so guys, I'll just open the floor. Anybody have any final thoughts or want to let people know where they can find you? Feel free.
I guess I'll go first. I mean, you can find me and Kyle Edwards. He was on here earlier. And Dylan Reed on the Big Three podcast on this network on Tuesdays at 7. And also, I have my own show, the JJ Sports Talk, on Friday. It's not part of the network, but I'm on Spotify. The live stream is on Facebook Live and then YouTube, and now I'm on Twitch now. where we talk, MLB, NBA, NFL. And yeah, you can follow me on the. I got my Instagram page, JJ Sports Talk. My separate page for my private or for my personal page. So follow that on Instagram. And then I love being a part of this network. Gene, Cool, Brett, Michael, Conman, Kyle, everyone out. We have a good team, y'all. So I'm happy with it. Let's keep on getting good content out there. Let's keep on producing good stuff out there, and let's keep on sharing our content out there.
Yes, sir. Gene Walzak, Wire Wire Sports Podcast. Got merch Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Also pregame and pigskin Thursday night, 7 p.m. These are Eastern Standard Times. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Twitch, Stitcher, iHeart, wherever you want to find podcasts. Wire to Wire's making moves. Appreciate y'all for having me on the N1. I'll be a staple on this weekly if you have me.
Gene, you can come on whatever you want, bro. You know that. Brett.
Yeah. You can find me at Facebook or Twitter at Brett Gardapi. Otherwise, I do have my own podcast, Gardy 3 on Spotify and Anchor. I cover basketball and professional wrestling for right now. And I do want to say, Michael, it was an honor working with you for the first time. I love your deep knowledge of the game. It was great listening and hearing from you. Gene, it was great debating Wilt and Bill with you. I've always enjoyed those kind of conversations. Jordan, cool. It was phenomenal. I do love all the new connections and people I'm meeting on the network. And let's just keep on growing, guys.
Definitely. Anything else you want to add, Con Man?
No, everyone has their own platforms, and I'm proud of y'all, and keep doing what you're doing. I'm coming from a different way right now. I'm not trying to promote my brand or anything like that. I'm just happy to be part of the network, and just happy to, be able to promote my experiences and let people know, the things that I've experienced, and that's about it, man. Yeah, I got my own show on Thursday nights, 8:00. Other than that, I'm not trying to, blow myself up. I'm just being me. That's it.
Well, I'm trying to get high, so I'm gonna keep it real. You know what I'm saying?
I love it.
Okay.
Love it.
So on Tuesday nights at 9 p.m., I do the NFL Matchup Madness. That's on playcallersportstalk.com/live. We cover every matchup every week. Also, Friday nights, same place. Play Caller Sports Talk Show at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. On Wednesday nights, I have the Eagles Elite podcast. That's at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's on youtube.com/@Eagles Elite Podcast. On the same place, Saturday nights, I do the NFC Beast podcast, all NFC East every week. So, it's a couple of places where you can catch me at. You can find me swinging through some of the shows on the network as well. Pre-game and pigskin, I got to hop back on. Really had a ball on that joint with Gene and the team over there. Man, I love watching the Wire to Wire show as well. I know some of the other guys on the network. I try to catch some of the shows that I can. But I tell you this, Sports Empire Network, man, keep your eyes on us. Just keep your eyes on us, and I'm going to leave it at that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And with that being said, if you watch the show, you like the show, you check out the replay, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and also we appreciate every share that you give us.
Appreciate y'all.
Absolutely. And with that being said, we're going to tune it out for tonight for me and all the guys that showed up, the guys who had technical issues. And that happens when you live. Everybody was able to make it. We appreciate you, and we look forward to doing this again next week.